Hey, what's happening? I'm going to give it a few minutes here, let YouTube do its thing. I'm going to do a little bit of training today. And maybe some of you guys want to train with me. Kind of spontaneous training today, but yeah. We'll get moving here in a little bit. What's happening? What's happening? If you guys are able to train with me right now, go ahead and grab a stick or a training bolo or what, and we'll get some training in real quick. It's kind of spontaneous, just kind of jumping on here. I didn't really announce it or anything, but I figured, I want to kind of go through some of the basics just for myself. I figured let me just jump on here live and, maybe some of you guys that want to train with me, just covering some of the, cleaning up some of the mechanics and stuff like that, then maybe you guys are interested in doing that kind of thing. So we're going to be training here in a couple minutes. Try and do this right now. If you're just joining live, in the comments below, let me know where you're watching from, where you're training from. It's always cool to see where everybody's at. If you got your training gear with you, grab your gear. I'm just working some basics today. I figured, I want to just kind of work through some of the basic strikes and stuff like that. And anyone that wants to train with me, I'll just go live and you guys can just kind of follow along and, and just train with me here. You say, I don't think I will ever have a partner and I am just starting out. I do have a bob dummy though. Hey man, that's a partner. Northwest Indiana. I don't have a training partner most of the time anymore either. So I'm in the same boat. But that doesn't stop our training, man. That doesn't stop training. That does not stop the ability to, develop our technique and develop some skills and all that stuff. Miami, Florida, nice. It's starting to get chilly here where I am, but, winter's coming. But that's all right. Got to just deal with it, I'm going to get warmed up here. If you guys have seen one of my previous videos I did kind of recently on increasing your wrist flexibility and grip strength and all that, and you'll start recognizing some of these warm-ups. These are all, when I make these YouTube videos and stuff, these are things that I do. So these are things that I actually use or drills that I'm currently working on or anything like that. Shingle Springs, California, Europe, nice. Do I have a brick and mortar school or are you online, only online? I used to have a brick and mortar school, but now we have chapters. We currently have 5 different chapters. So our chapter groups, we have St. Augustine, Florida, Pensacola, Florida, Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and also on the west side of Belgium. So we have different chapters, so you can train with our chapters and all that stuff. And then I kind of travel around and teach all the chapter leaders, our teachers and all that, and do some seminars and things like that. So I personally do not have a brick and mortar school anymore, but we do have chapter locations that are popping up. So you can get in-person training. Plus we have seminars, we have our 5-day immersion training camp that I hold once a year. So you can still train with me in person as well, all throughout the year. Or any of our chapter groups you can train with as well. Because I didn't want to run a school anymore, dude. Like, I just wanted to train. I want to train. That's my thing. I did the school thing for a long, long time. So when I started branching off online, it's because really, ideally, I'm looking for training partners. I just want people to train with. I like going all over different locations and stuff and just training and having a good time. So. Nice. Monroe, Michigan. Yeah, man, let's definitely get it. We're gonna get jumping in here in about a minute or two. Yo, what's happening, David Thompson? All right, I'm gonna work on some basics today. You know, I just want to kind of, I like to train the fundamentals quite a bit. Let me try to reposition this because we're gonna do a little bit of footwork, a little bit of striking, stuff like that. If you guys want to train, you know, kind of like how we train here at Collie Center and really get your skills up, make sure to check out our Collie Apex. You know, we got the brand new beginner course that's just kind of, we released it about a week ago, a little over a week ago. We got a lot of people jumping into Collie Apex right now, and I got a little discount code right now over at to grab the Apex and all that. You can get 20% off if you use the code APEX20. But the training doesn't stop there. If you guys really want to jump in and get us to be more of like your personal coaches for Collie, you know, this doesn't replace anything else that you're doing though. It doesn't replace, you know, if you're training at another school or with another teacher or anything like that. We're not trying to replace anybody here. We just want to make sure that we're adding, you know, benefits and people are getting, you know, peak performances in their Collie and everything. So you can get us to be your personal coaches as well now in your Collie, not just teaching you Collie, but actually coaching you Collie if you jump into our Collie Apex members area as well. So you can get one-on-one video coaching with us, you know, where we'll work with you and we can actually train with you, take a look at your technique, make any adjustments, corrections. You know, if you're training with a partner, you're having a hard time getting a tactic to work or anything like that, schedule a one-on-one video coaching call with us, and we can work you and your partner through those tactics, and we can see, you know, where it's falling apart, you know, where things are not going correctly, some things that you're doing correctly, and we can actually coach you in making those adjustments so that way you are training your Collie at your peak performance. And we can take your skills from beginner all the way up to advanced. So our Collie Apex basic training, the way I like to put it, it gets you from 0 to flow at a fast track pace. And then if you want to go beginner to advanced, jump into the Collie Apex members area, and then we can coach you through beginner all the way up to advanced. So you got all that stuff going on. Just just check that stuff out anytime that you want to check it out. How do you find out about our chapters? Go over to colliecenter.com and click on the chapters tab in the menu, and it'll take you over to our chapters page. All right, I want to just kind of start off with a little bit of footwork. So a lot of the footwork that we do here, we basically have 3 different types of footwork, or 3 categories of footwork. We have our segmented footwork, which is, you know, a segment, which means a line. We have our triangle footwork, and we have circular footwork. Triangle footwork is 3 segments put together, right? It's just an angle. That's all it is. So I like warming up with some segmented footwork first. This helps me not only to dial in 0 degrees, you know, but it just kind of gets everything moved up and warmed up here. Boom. I'll show you guys some of the things that we do, you know, as I'm warming up. And I'm not going to go super crazy today. I got a lot of things I got to do. So I'm just kind of, you know, using this as like a daily warm up as well. So this is what we refer to right now as our broken footwork. It's a little bit broken rhythm. This is typically done in application at broken timing. Okay. A lot of martial arts use variations of this. Okay. A lot of different Filipino martial arts styles and systems. Boxing, sometimes, you know, you'll see a little bit of broken footwork in there. Some fencing methods like destreza, they've got some of the broken footwork that's in there. You know, it's all on broken timing. That's what broken footwork means for us. It means broken timing. Okay. You'll see the leg pumps. I get a lot of questions about, you know, why are we lifting the leg? The reason for that is to generate or control momentum. So if I need to generate a lot of momentum, right, by just being flat, where are you going to go, right? So you need to generate that momentum so that way you can really take off and cover ground at a different rapid rate. Or if I needed to get off the line, anything like that. If I'm moving back, if I gotta range and protect myself aggressively, okay, then I can pump that leg so I don't overshoot ranging out, where then, you know, I can't get back into the engagement and either A, counter or take back the offense. So, right, we can pump that leg, hold us in that position, protect ourselves with striking, and get back into the engagement. That's why you see it. It's kind of a brief thing right there. Some people think it's telegraphed and they're blah, 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 but we have a whole solution thing to the telegraph here at College Center. We're not really worried about it. You know, when we train, sometimes we'll tell our training partner exactly what we're going to do anyways and when. You know, it's kind of one of those trainings where it's like the telegraphing thing, yeah, it could be a concern if you don't know how to actually set up the range, timing of your tactics, then telegraphing is always going to be a concern. But if you understand range, timing, momentum, tactics, all these things, then telegraphing, at least in the world of Kali, really should not be a concern then. Because you can just set it up. If you're reading that your opponent has caught you because you telegraphed, then you should be able to read their reading and then renegotiate your tactic anyways. All right, turn that into a little bit of a bluff, let them bite, you know, and then turn that into something else. That's a true skill right there. So we never have to worry about telegraphing or anything like that. You know, I don't know. I'm the kind of person, I'm the kind of student that when I'm training, you know, when I'm looking to build a skill, I don't want to just follow the herd. People start talking about certain things. I don't want to just like, oh yeah, that's the way it is. I got to train, I got to test things, and I want my own answers. And here at Kali Center, we're not really concerned about telegraphs. You know, and when you see someone solo train or you're watching training from an outside perspective, yeah, it's always easy to sit and be like, oh man, I see that. I would do this to you. I would do that to you. It's like back in the day, some of my buddies that would watch like boxing matches, oh man, he should have, you know, gave him that left uppercut. I'm like, dude, you're not in the ring, man. You don't know what he should have done. You don't know anything about their weight distribution, you know, nothing. So you can't, you know, it's always easy to fight from the sidelines, but you know, I don't buy into all that stuff. Rattan, better bamboo. I think rattan can break. Here, we're gonna find out if this rattan's gonna break. Let's see. See, this is what I'm talking about. Don't take anybody's word for it. Let's see if I can get this camera to stay. I got this new tripod and it's like terrible. Did it break? Did it break? Looks perfectly fine to me. You want me to do it again? Let's see if this rattan will break. People think that rattan is weak. Let's see. Nope. Perfect. That's what I'm saying, guys. When it comes to your training, do not bite to anybody else's words. Do the training and find out for yourself. All right? People come up with all kinds of weird things, man. That's people who aren't training, man. You know, when they say certain things, those are people who aren't really training. So. So right now I'm just doing a little bit of basic carenza. You know, I'm pretty warmed up, at least just for what I want. You know, just do a little bit of basic carenza, get everything flowing. Nice, from Scotland. Yes, footwork in Kali is very much like dancing. Nice, from Germany. Yeah, so footwork is the key. Footwork is the key, you know. Sometimes we get these other people that come up on the channel and they like to make fun of us, right? That Kali Center, we're like, you guys are just dancing. That's not stick fighting, that's just dancing. You guys aren't fighting, you're fencing. First of all, thank you. The people that make those comments are people that A, don't know how to dance, and B, have never fenced. Those are people who clearly don't train. But yeah, the name of the game when it comes to Kali, when it comes to weaponry, is footwork. Because, you know, sometimes when you're drilling, you know, you're doing these like slow drills. Okay? You're doing these slow drills. But then all of a sudden, like you're sparring, you're fencing around, and then, you know, that's the timing that you have to work with, right? That's the strikes. Boom, people are coming in, really striking the weapon. So yeah, it makes sense, man. You got to have good footwork, right? You got to know how to navigate the terrain, right? You got to know how to navigate, get to better positions of protection, positions that allow, you know, advantage and stuff, you know? Technical, tactical advantages, mechanical advantages and things like that. That's going to up your leverage, up your protection, up your ability to attack, you know, and protect yourself in the process. You know, like, we're not really impressed with watching sparring matches where everyone's just kind of beating each other. We don't want to see that. Like, I mean, we spent so much time doing that, and I'm like, dude, there's got to be a better way. You know, the skill of martial arts, the skill of Kali, you know, everybody does it for their own reason and their own purpose and all that stuff, which is fine. But when you look at the real authentic art of Kali, right, what Kali was, it's blade fighting, okay? Stick fighting is something else. Stick fighting is a conditioning of Kali. It's like a subcategory of Kali. But when you look at the true authenticity of Kali and what it was designed for, it's blade fighting. And you can't go back and forth with blade fighting, right? You can't just spar around and be hitting each other all the time, because you're not going to last long if this was a reality thing. Now, people can argue we're not going to be in sword fights anymore. I don't want to debate that. I don't know. People get attacked with machetes and all kinds of crazy things nowadays still. But this is an art. When we look at Kali Center, here at Kali Center, we look at this as an art. Okay? We take what we learn in our practice, the skills that we develop in our Kali practice, and then we take the principles of those things and we can apply that into our, you know, day-to-day lives. But as far as Kali goes, you know, we look at this as an art form. Okay? This is a study. And we're basically identifying problems, and we're looking at how do we break down these problems and find the solutions to these problems. When you're doing that type of behavior in your training, you're going to start bringing that type of mentality into your every single day. And when you have problems in your life, in your day, automatically, because you're so used to it in your training, you're going to start looking for, okay, let's break the problem apart and let's start finding the solutions. Instead of dwelling on the problem or repeating the problem, you start, you know, making different decisions in your life, and you start getting better results in your life. And Kali, for me, this is an empowerment. This is a personal development type of journey. That's what I look at Kali for. You know, it's not for me, it's not for fighting anymore and things like that. Fighting is the easy stuff. Anybody can fight. But how do you gain a skill that is transferable, that is going to give you these incredible results in your practice, in your medium, and also give you these incredible results in other areas of your life as well, whether it is health, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whatever it is, right? That's, for us, that's the art of Kali. That's why we train Kali nowadays, at least for me personally, and you know, for a lot of the people here at Kali Center, my staff, and all that. So, you know, we're looking at, you know, how does this thing play out to the authenticity, because let's be honest here, guys. What's a bigger problem to have to deal with? A stick or the blade? Right? Obviously, the blade is a bigger problem. So that's why we don't, you know, we're not really impressed with, you know, being able to hit, fight, and get hit on the receiving end. What we look for in sparring is, can we apply our tactics without getting hit? How consistent of skill can we have and achieve throughout our sparring rounds? Whether we're sparring with gear or without gear, it makes no difference, okay? But that's what we're looking for, because we're thinking of the authentic Kali art, which is the blade, not the stick. The stick is a training tool, okay? So a lot of schools that use soft sticks, this is our soft stick here at Kali Center, right? We try to keep everything as traditional as we possibly can here at Kali Center. You know, there's a reason why these guys, you know, back, you know, hundreds of years ago there's a reason why they developed these training methods. And it's because they work. And that's what we want to do. You know, we want to use what works. So that's a little bit, you know, a little bit there. So footwork is absolutely going to be very, very, very important. Okay? Holy cow, we're already going on 22 minutes, man. That's crazy, crazy. Seattle in the house. This is really informative. You could blend these lessons with so many other martial arts. Yes, that's how I like to teach. Yes, I can do that as well. Kali was disguised as an dance art in the past, but for real, it has always been practical, to be honest. Yeah, there's that too. That's a good question, Sam. I'll answer that question. That'll be our training for the day. Mel, it might just be the way our timing works, man. One day, it'll line up. Chris says, oh yes, Kali spills into my everyday life for certain. Kali Center is the game changer. There he is, man. That's one of our chapter leaders. He's in the Apex. Got to get in there, man. Got to get in the Apex. We can answer all those questions, and not only answer your questions, but get you performing. Why don't I design a weapon series for self-defense? This entire YouTube channel, if you train, here's why I don't design anything specifically for self-defense. Number one, I don't teach for self-defense purposes anymore. You'll get self-defense skills training with me, but that's not my aim for teaching anymore. I want to teach the art of Kali. I want to teach my exploration in the art of Kali. I think there's enough people out there that are teaching the self-defense side of things. The trueness of what I believe as far as self-defense side of things, it doesn't usually fit into the legal categories, because you got to protect yourself. And in a lot of places in the world, you can't. So I don't want to really touch on that. You know, and another thing too is that, guys, I've been putting out training for years. For years, I've been making YouTube videos. I have training courses. It doesn't matter what I put out. You got to actually do the training. You know, for years I've been traveling and teaching. How come I haven't seen you at one of my trainings, right? I mean, I could throw it back at you. You know, we have an entire training so that you can learn with us. And I just made the best version of it that we've ever made, which is our Kali Apex. So the answer to your question is we do have all those services for you to train. You just have to do it. You got to train. You know, like I'm out here right now. I'm getting a little bit of my training in right now. You know, that's what I'm doing. So I can make all these programs, but how many programs do you want? You know, we've just got done making the best program that we'll probably ever make, which is Kali Apex. Get in the program. Get the basic program so that way you can learn the fundamentals of zero to flow, and then get into Kali Apex members so that way we can tailor your training and coach you for what you're looking for. You know, if you're looking for something specific, we can coach you with that something specific. So we can do that with you guys now. That's what Kali Apex is all about. If you're looking at, you know, something specific, we have to get you through the foundations of what we do anyways. That's where the basic training comes in. If you're looking for knife stuff in Kali, in the traditional way of learning and practicing Kali, you got to learn all of the, you know, the single sword, the single stick stuff first. That's the tradition. All the knife stuff and all the empty hand stuff comes off of that. You got to understand the footwork, range, timing, tactical negotiation. You got to know those things. How to apply your tactics on contact, on following the force, meeting the force, understanding transitions. So you get all of this now with our Kali Apex. Then you get continued training from beginner to advanced as a Kali Apex member. So yes, we do provide that training, but you have to come and get the training. And then you have to do the training. Okay? It's that simple. We provide everything. All right? So Sam asked a good question about, you know, what strikes go with what footwork. Now there's a lot of different footworks, okay? So we have segmented footwork, which is basically learning how to move on a segment, which is a line, okay? A segment is a line. So wherever that line is, okay, you're gonna travel up that the same way, wherever the line is, if you are staying on that segment. Then we have triangle footwork, right? We have our basic triangles, a reverse triangle, just like this, left 45, right 45. Yes, we can close that triangle down, okay? We have the forward triangle where the tip, right, the apex of the triangle is up on top, okay? We can close that triangle, okay? We can combine them and create the diamond. We can combine the apexes, and then we have the hourglass, okay? All of this stuff is taught by everybody, pretty much. You know, all Filipino martial artists, even boxers. When I was training in boxing, I remember going through, they were doing a little bit different, but I remember going through hourglass footwork. You know, we're working a little bit of reverse triangle. They didn't call it that, you know, but it was there. A little bit of reverse triangle with a side step, you know, a little bit what we call side step sweep, because you're sweeping the leg back. You know, we got our side steps here, okay? We got all kinds of footworks. A general rule, this is when we're meeting the force. There's a lot of these kind of little rules. You know, different like fencing arts. If you ever studied different fencing arts, they have these things called rules. Eventually, these are guidelines. They could be broken, but in the beginning, you want to follow the general rules. So one of the general rules is when you're meeting the force, your forehand strikes, we're going to take a look at what's called loptic strikes or fluid strikes. Strikes that go all the way through the center line. Okay, when you're on reverse triangle, okay, you got your reverse triangle right here, left 45, right 45. Your forehand loptics go as you step to the left, and your backhand loptics go when you step to the right. and reverse triangle, okay? You don't cross yourself. Later you do that when you understand how to control range, dominate timing, you know, the proper position of tactics and all these things. But in the general, the forehands go to the left and the backhands go to the right. Here and here. Here and here. There's the 3, and look at that, there's the 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. That's a general rule. That's a general rule. Like I said, later the rules can be broken, but in the beginning, always practice the lesson as is. And then you'll get to the, you know, advanced stuff where you can start breaking these rules and doing other things. All right, but that's just a general rule. As far as timing, this is why at the Kali Apex, we teach coordination of the footwork. We teach the proper striking mechanics and building the coordination of your strikes. And then we have here at Kali Center what we call calibration. And we calibrate your strikes with your footwork so that way you can properly maneuver at peak performance, footwork and strikes and footwork. But you know, kind of like a general rule is that you want your weapon, this is an equal rule here, there's times to break this, but you want your weapon to land at the target at the same time that your primary stepping foot is landing at the ground. So 1, 2, right there. That's it. Or 2, 3, right there. So if I'm making contact right here on the center, bop, right there. At the same time my left foot touches the ground, that upper third, that point where I'm making contact with my weapon, should be making contact to the target. Okay? Same thing, right there. So, boom, pop, right there. That's the general rule. So if you take that basic reverse triangle drill, forehands to the left, okay, backhands to the right, then you can work the timing of these strikes as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. So now you can work that timing as well. And that's gonna help you out. Big time, big time, big time. You know, everybody knows how to swing a stick, and it seems like everybody, you know, knows footwork, but very few people know how to put the two together. Minnesota, nice. Thank you, Hans. I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you being here. I like that there's no run to black belt, but it said continuous journey. Yeah, we don't do like a rank symbolizing here at Kali Center. How we know what rank we are is by skill. We train together, and then we know. You know, so there's no, you can't fool, right? Like in BJJ, you have a lot of these guys that go around that are, you know, they're like fake black belts or fake purple belts. You know, you can watch the YouTube videos, you know, where a guy that claimed he was a purple belt got called out, right? And he was fake. The dude never trained. So at Kali Center, we want to eliminate that, right? We want to get rid of the faking of all that stuff. So if we put a ranking system, meaning, you know, we have different color shirts or we have a belt or something like that, it waters down what we're doing. It waters down the art, because then you get these people that can start claiming things that they're not. So for us, we don't have that. The only thing that's going to signify where you are in your training, which is beginner, intermediate, or advanced, is your skills. You have to train. And when you're training with us, we'll know within the first like second where you are in you know, relative to skills, you know, to the standards of Kali Center. Everybody's different. So, you know, if you're a guru in one style of Kali, that doesn't mean you're a guru here training with Kali Center. You know, we might be doing things way differently. And just because I'm, you know, where I am in my research, that doesn't mean I can go over to like Kali Silvestrissimo and like, you know, I know everything. It doesn't work like that, right? I would have to start where I need to start with that style, with that system, okay? So that's how we like it here at Kali Center. It keeps everything truthful. It keeps everything honest. It keeps everything respectful. You know, these are important things for us because we believe, you know, in the importance of having virtue. So that's why we do it the way that we do it. You know, and then yes, there's no race, you know, you just train. You go through the process, you know, you trust the process. We will help you improve in your skills. Like, it's going to happen. Left-hander. Yeah, so just take everything, right, and then just start training it in the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I don't understand why people can't flip that around and make it work. You want to learn both hands, right? Because eventually, right, you want to get the 2 weapons, right? Boom, right? Don't you? So you gotta learn both hands anyways. Spend a little bit of time on that. You know, if you see something done in the right hand, do it in both hands. If you see something done in the left hand, do it in both hands. I don't know, you know, come on guys, we don't need instruction for that. You know, just put it together. Oh man, your phone battery's low. I'm 15 years old and looking to pick up a martial art. It's hard to find a traditional trainer anywhere. Yes. Nowadays, it's getting hard because a lot of people are blending martial arts together, or focusing on the trend of martial art, whatever the trend is nowadays. So it is getting harder. You know, people that want to really focus on like the tradition of Aikido, they might be having a hard time finding those teachers right now. So you got to keep searching, man. Do not give up. Don't give up. That's why here at Kali Center, we offer the training that we offer. Obviously, we have a whole bunch of free videos right here on YouTube. But for more structured training, you know, if you jump into Kali Apex, you're going to get that more structured training. Jump into the membership, and you know, you can get that one-on-one coaching and all that stuff. At 15, man, that's hard. That's when I started my Kali journey. Was at 15 and a half actually. Do you take your ITC programs to the West Coast at all, or is it primarily in your area? It's not in my area. Right now, we've been doing them in Custer, South Dakota. I do not live in Custer, South Dakota. So when I go to ITC, I have to travel just like everybody else. And we have a lot of gear and stuff that we have to haul. So we typically don't jump on a plane. We drive for, you know, 16 hours. For me, it's almost 20 hours. So I have to travel just like everybody else that comes to ITC. So that's where we do them. 2021 ITC is happening back in South Dakota over at Broken Arrow Horse Campground. I got to do what you guys got to do if I want to train. Can you emphasize the triangle system and each of the 3 systems within each branch of it in your next video? Well, it depends on what style or system that you're talking about, because everybody has their own variation of a triangle system. In my background of Pikiti Tersha, as far as my understanding of it, because I didn't train the newer stuff, my direct teacher was Tim Wade. We trained Doce Methodos, Contradas, and Contra Tercia Doble Dos. That was a triangle system as far as I know it. That was supposedly the first generation stuff. I have no idea what they're doing now, because I have not been associated with Pikiti Tersha for over half a decade now. So I don't know what they're doing now. But you know, like I said, I don't know what style or system that you're asking about. And obviously I can only answer according to what I've trained in. Right? Like I don't know what everybody else's answer is to that. You know, that's the thing with Kali, is that no one really knows what it is. It's just kind of an umbrella term, because there's so many different styles and systems that, you know, that's like an open-ended question, to be honest with you. Like, I can tell you what our training is here at Kali Center, you know, that I can do. I'll take a few more questions, and then I gotta jet out. Thanks, Hans. I appreciate that. Sensei Emmett, I got your email. I'm going to be responding to you later today. And that date that you sent me, it works. So we'll be able to get that in. So I'll respond to you in a proper email. What workouts or exercises would you recommend doing to train the body for stamina? I have a top five calisthenics exercises video that I did on the channel here. Just look up for that video and then, yeah, you'll have it. I have waited years to come across another instructor like you. I am also appreciative. I had the privilege of training as a teenager under a great instructor. As a result, I became really picky. Yeah, I'm really picky about my teachers too, Brandy. What style are you interested in? I might be able to, okay, yeah. I am practicing the footwork and the stick you showed just now, and it looks cool. Yeah, man, that right there, man, if you practice that drill and you train that drill for like 2 weeks, you'll see a big improvement in your Kali skills. I guarantee it. You will see it. If you train with us, you're going to get good. Okay? It's just what's going to happen. I want to enforce my strikes. How can I do that? You got to train, man. You got to train a lot more than you think. You got to develop those striking mechanics. You got to build that coordination. You got to build the calibration with your strikes, with your footwork, and you got to understand how to navigate the terrain, how to negotiate the tactics, understand range, timing, you know, the generation and control of momentum. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. You know, if you jump into Kali Apex, we can coach you all the way through. And you'll have some crazy, crazy strikes. Could you show how to do a florete? Etiquette, you almost got that right. Doblete, and explain what does the other hand do during those moves. Maybe I'll do that in an upcoming video. What is Kali? How long have you trained it? It's Filipino martial arts. It's a Filipino martial art of blade fighting, and I've been training it for about 21 years. Thank you, Mitch. Absolutely, anytime. Michael, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Just take that inspiration and run with it and go train, man. I am in the Midwest. Trained with Gregory and Taos. Oh yeah, man, Gregory's a good guy. I think he moved, didn't he? You don't have to publicly say where he moved. That's weird. See, when you do Heaven 6, the Sinawali, how does the footwork work with the front and the back hand? I think I did a video on that. You guys just got to search all the Kali Center. I've got like 600 videos on here. I've done a Heaven 6 with footwork video before. You got to go find it, track it down. Is that your backyard? Yeah, this is my home training gym right here. So I film a lot of videos right here. I got my calisthenic bars. This is like inside of my garden that we're building. So yeah, that's my barn back there. And yeah, my backyard keeps going. Agreed. Train with Paul, you'll get good. I'm 25 plus years in martial arts and talk to instructors from various styles. Paul is an awesome instructor. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kali versus Hema. Yeah, there's a lot of influence. There's a lot of cross influence between the two. All right, guys, I got to get out of here because I got to go meet up with some people, and we're going to go, I got to go do a few things and all that. It's been awesome hanging out with everybody. If you want to continue your training with us, go grab the Kali Apex. If you guys use this coupon code APEX20, I can get you that 20% off right now. And then jump into the Apex members area, and we can really hash out all these questions for you and not only get you the answers, but coach you so you can train this stuff, you know, and you can really perform this stuff at top notch, man. We want everyone to be peak performers in Kali and and help you out. Whatever style, whatever system that you're training in, our Kali Apex and our coaching is going to help you achieve your goals in your training. It's going to give you different light. It's going to give you just a different perspective on how to do all that stuff. Check out, I just got done filming some new YouTube videos. So, and I also just got done filming some Kali Apex videos for our members, our Apex members, and all that stuff. So, yeah, get on in the program, man. I don't know why why you guys wouldn't be training with us. If you see all this benefit just from a simple drill I gave you right now, you're crazy not to be training in the Apex. I wish I had it. I wish I had Kali Apex when I was starting my Kali 20 years ago. When I was 15, man, I would have begged my parents to get me in that, and I'd be living on that. And I'd be taking advantage of all the one-on-one video coaching calls that I can, and take advantage of the free ITC I can attend and all that stuff as an Apex member. I'd be in that thing in a heartbeat. That's why I built it. I built these things because honestly, they're the things I want. That's why I build them. I build them how I want the training. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Head over to KaliCenter.com, go check it out. And I'll see you guys next time, all right? Keep training. Get outside. Go make nature your Kali dojo.